Hi again, good evening. I hope you are well and with peace and healthy. So, in continuity with our discussion, I'd like to speak a little about chapter 5 of my book, Hypnosis in the Helm of Design. And chapter 5 makes the relationship between design, hypnosis, and paradoxes. And paradoxes are extremely important in human lives because when we try to solve them, we surely we will fail. Paradox cannot be solved, but they can be conceived as constitutive parts of human existence. So, in this book, we can take some of the most interesting paradoxes, for example, reality and fiction. The people who work with hypnosis can tell you a lot of stories in which people can confuse real elements, concrete elements, and hypnotic suggestion. But what's real? This is perhaps the main discussion we develop in this book. Another paradox: freedom and determinism. How long can one say he or she is free for decide their lives? How long? And if we are not free, is it correct, it's morally correct to attribute responsibility to one's actions? So this is one of the most interesting topics in hypnosis, because since Mesmer discussions and Puisiger discussion, the researchers and philosophers had asked if hypnosis, for example, could eliminate the capacity of choice. Another very interesting topic in hypnosis and design of the paradox: individuality and collectivity. How long can one think is only an individuality? Or how can one comprehend Peirce's affirmation in which individuality is a practical joke? And in trance, it's a very, very interesting thing, because one can speak with somebody important of his or her life trajectory. One can speak with a cultural being, a being who represents, for example, a spiritual mission, a religion. One can speak or can watch somebody else, he or she. One can deal with an phylogenetic heritage, which is present there through an anesthesia or analgesia. So trance is polyphonic, and trance becomes a kind of scenario in which one can exercise individuality and collectivity. So this book speaks on many curious clinical situations. For example, John Lombardi, a psychotic patient received by Milton Erickson. It discusses some pages on Ramakrishna, the famous Indian yogi. In his life, Ramakrishna was diagnosed as crazy, psychotic, but he becomes one of the most significant gurus in India. And Dracula, the book of Bram Stoker, in which we discuss the question of love. So, if paradoxes are constitutive of our lives, which is this design prescription idea concerning this? We cannot solve them, but you need to persevere through them. And through perseverance, we can understand that they are inconceivable, but they cannot be conceived one without other, as discussed, for example, in many philosophies, in Taoism and Confucianism, for example. And in this sense, we can think hypnosis, for example, as the dream state that wake up, or the sleeping who lead people to become conscious, or the control that lead people to freedom. And this arrangement is possible following this idea because through the perseveration in paradoxes, it is the burning of our intentional or teleological movement toward life. So I hope you have an excellent lecture of this chapter and wait for our next meeting. Bye bye. Thank you very much.